Alright, so we are going to we'll try just saying these people need professional help. We'll decide to call the police. And then we'll see what happens. Osawa decided to hurry and call the police. Now let me just... Okay, Kana's still got a bad end. So... just right off the bat, we can see that, so we don't need to do that. Alright, Osawa couldn't just stand idly by. He decided to help them evade their pursuers. Alright, follow me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. He led the two back to his house and into the storage shed out back. You can lay low in here for a while if you like, he said. The shed was fairly large. There was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. I'm so sorry, the man said. I'm not sure how I can possibly thank you. Don't worry, Osawa closed the shed door and headed back out to take a look around. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt these were the people the father and daughter were running from. You there, said the one in the sunglasses. You see a guy and his daughter around here? That would be Teruo Toyama and his daughter Hana. They've come to Shoto while running from loan sharks. Just moments ago, Toyama was talking on the phone with Minorikawa. So I guess there's a little hint, in case people forgot, but we have no need to jump to him right now. And that wasn't even a block, so that jump is pretty pointless. They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. A man and his daughter. Ah, yes, I think I saw them run through here. Which way'd they go? That way. Sweet, we almost got him. The pair sped away. Osawa waited until they were fully out of sight, then called out to the shed. Alright, they're gone. The door stayed closed, however. I'm really sorry, the man called back from inside. Those guys might come back this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little while longer? He sounded desperate, pitiful, really. Sure, go ahead, Osawa said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. Alright, so now... oh god. Now Kano has changed, but we're gonna keep going with Osawa for now. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study. You're still here? Yes, sir. I was told to keep my eyes on you, after all. Believe me, it shows. Mr. Osawa, if you're going to go outside, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know first. What? Kajiwara realized he'd snuck out of the house. But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back into his suit pocket. Okay, so we don't even miss this. Okay, so that's clearly obviously the right answer, because we have to pick this to make sure Kano doesn't die or get a bad end, so. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Osawa asked. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... the passenger name here is listed as Kenji Osawa. In the plastic bag was a plane ticket, specifically the one for his upcoming flight to the US the following week. He left it out on his desk. How'd it wound up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks like it's pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. I must say, it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A wry sort of smile came to his face. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. Osawa was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose. He was sure of it. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. It didn't look like she'd gotten back home yet. Osawa let himself in. Okay, so we have seen this before. The stinging scent of her perfume pervaded the room, which was decorated all in white. Clothes were strewn all about, as if to put her slovenliness on display. She'd been like this ever since they'd gotten married, and Osawa had long since stopped caring. It must have been I who tried to flush the ticket. That's the, most obvious assumption, but we also have to factor into take into account the possibility that it was either Maria or Hitomi. He knew she didn't want him going to America, but still, couldn't she have found a better way to get rid of it? Thanks to her, he'd been stuck hunched over the damn toilet, fighting with the plunger. Osawa sat down on the bed amidst the brand-name clothing. Then he spotted something odd down by his feet. It was a gold cigarette lighter. Still not sure where that's from. Just when an eye picked up smoking. Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. He started out of the room, but stopped as he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazines, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. Alright, well, I think we've seen all this, so I think we can... I don't necessarily need to read it all. Took it and opened it. Filled with articles, research, photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hand, magazine articles, arranged marriage, I wonder if actually, I was put into this marriage against her will, and that's why she's so bitter toward him. I don't know. Alright. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. Right, and then he looks for the CD and finds it's not there. Maria hadn't seemed terribly fond of it. She tossed her copy back on his desk. Right. Although the fact that she did that makes me think that she's not very... she must not be very close with him, because... Or she must not like him very much, to just, throw his gift back on his desk. Normally out of politeness, you'd at least keep it, but... It makes me think that there's something going on here where maybe she's a little resentful toward him about something. Yeah, no sign of it. It's at his office. Yeah, at the lab. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Not being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. It wasn't like he could just go out and buy another copy right now, either. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. Unable to contain his need to hear that music, he went into Hitomi's room. There, he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed. Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. Okay, we've heard this. No CDs. All classical music. Had to be somewhere here in her room. Jumped at the sound of his cell. Makino's name. Right, and then he's here. I'm out front. That was all Makino said before hanging up. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD rack. As he worked, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. I think we're gonna get to see this CG again. Or not a CG, but, well, you know. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as it gripped the doorknob. We only saw it for a second, but there was a necklace that was fairly prominent in it, and I want to see that again. How could he? His hands were dirty and all this, too. Keep this a secret just between us. She didn't look like I think it was someone older, or I mean someone younger, so it's gotta be one of his two daughters. Or someone completely different, like Tama or something. Or it could also be, Achi's sister. Right? Because she was suffering from a disease. Oh, actually, yeah, that could actually work out. And if what happened in Africa is any indication, then he's probably gonna have to crunch and work really hard to synthesize or fix this drug, or come up with some kind of countermeasure to whatever's gonna happen, or else the person who he injected it with is gonna die. It was the only way. Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged toward the front door of his house. And now he's on a to be continued. So, let's go to Kano and actually continue to him now. Now we've got every character to be continued, except for Kano. It's been a while since we've been with Kano here. The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. "You ready?" he asked. "Just give the word." There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attaché case. Always these foreigners. I don't know why. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. "Sasayama, I'll handle the guy with the case." "Got it." Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who'd taken the ransom. Kano hung up his phone and rushed to close the distance with the other man. "You there! Stop where you are!" The suspect turned and Kano recognized his face. He was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. "Is the hostage safe?" Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. "Answer me." But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrists. Took out his phone to check in with Sasayama. Yeah, we don't want to let the attaché case guy get away, so... "I've got the suspect in custody," he said. "How's your end?" Sasayama hesitated. "Yeah, he got away from me." "What about the attaché case?" "I'm sorry, but he's still got to be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more." Sasayama hung up and Kano slipped his phone back in his pocket. As he did, the man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but his momentum carried him too far backward, and he sprawled onto the pavement. Damn. The suspect was already making a run for it. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking off the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He wore sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now cornered, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. "Be careful!" But Kano couldn't even have time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic whing, and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses had snapped his right foot up, sending the weapon flying. As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. The blow connected, and the suspect went down hard. Ah. Ow. The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down, unconscious. "Hey," Kano snapped. "What the hell are you doing?" He stormed over to the man with the sunglasses. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. "You were ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right?" He spoke in fluent Japanese. Imagine that you're a Japanese person who's never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't used English in ages. Your tension grows. You think back to English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammered, Do you?" The foreigner responds fluently, in your own language. "Nihongo de daijoubu desu. It's alright, I speak Japanese." What happened to that Japanese sense of honor I've heard so much about? Who are you?" "I'm from the U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office," the man replied. An embassy is where the ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are guaranteed diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory of the home nation. The U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of American diplomatic facilities and personnel, and provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It is located in Akasaka, in the Minato ward of the Tokyo metropolis. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley, that's such a generic name. Also, the signature says John Hancock. What the hell? His title was listed as Security Assistance Officer. Kano glanced at the car he'd shown up in. The license plate was blue with white lettering. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But the ministry wouldn't just send some diplomat to intervene in a police investigation. "What's your name, Detective?" Stanley asked. "Kano, from the Shibuya precinct." "Alright, Kano. I'm gonna need you to follow my instructions for the next while." "Why's that?" Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he held the phone out for Kano. "Here, permission from your boss," he said. "What?" Kano squawked. He took the phone gingerly, bracing himself. "Kano speaking." "You imbecile, what the hell are you thinking?" It was Kuze, and he was furious. "Understandably so, really. Well, we didn't get a choice in this, so this is just Kano being Kano." Kano had disobeyed a direct order, and for what? All he had accomplished was losing track of the attaché case. "I'm sorry, sir." "You really think sorry is gonna cut it?" "You're off the force, Kano." Kano slumped, defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top didn't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure he'd make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. "That's what I want to tell you," Kuze continued. "But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of the guy there, Stanley. Do whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. He'd disobeyed orders, that was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved a reprimand. But being ordered to tag along with some stranger who'd just turned up out of the blue? What the heck? May I ask why the U.S. Embassy is involved with this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Please, just hold on. Sir, I have no idea what's going on here. Kuze let out an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. And with that, the director hung up. It sounded like even Kuze didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. A foreign syndicate moving the ransom around, the U.S. Embassy. Whatever was going on, it was more than just a local kidnapping case, and Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on the scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean? Kano asked. I mean, this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now, your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Kano gave him a scowl, but Stanley ignored it. That guy we just, arrested, he asked. He tell you anything? No, nothing, Kano said. Really now. All trace of emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano like icy daggers. It held a glimmer of something dangerous. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he'd joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eyes of some diplomatic liaison. No. This was a man who knew how to kill, who'd killed people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know that he's a member of some foreign crime syndicate that works out of Shibuya. I probably know some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said, full as an automaton. We'll take my car. Kano wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his brow as they headed for the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat when Kuze radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his voice, full force. Kano stiffened on reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi Asawa has, gone missing. What? Kano couldn't believe his ears. Wasn't Tateno supposed to be protecting her right now? That's also pretty suspicious. So Tateno was charged with protecting her, and he's the one potentially going around threatening to kill her. I don't know. Also, Detective Tateno hasn't radioed in, and, we can't reach him from our end either. So, yeah. That also makes that suspicious. No way, Kano blurted out. It can't be. So yeah, Kuze continued. He might have gotten caught up in this incident too. Wasn't like a detective of Tateno's stature to go incommunicado during an investigation. It could only mean that something had happened to him. Something major. And there's the to be continued. So that's everybody. So we should be getting another little cutscene here. Just got an achievement that says, "Who can you trust?" Yeah, that seems pretty fitting for the situation. But now we need to decide who we're gonna go with here. I mean, Well, I guess the most pressing situation has gotta be Achi, right? We gotta make sure that he's okay, so... let's try and get him out of this situation. The man with the cane crooked his finger on the trigger. Achi stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too. Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward. He pitched face first onto the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him. Oh shit, did he just get shot? Oh no. In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. Hitomi, Achi asked, "You know that guy?" Hitomi's eyes went wide. "That's the man from the Scramble. The one who told me to go to the van." "Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us?" "I'm not sure." The newcomer fixed his eyes on Achi. "Hey man," Achi approached the stranger. "I'm not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist." Whoa! The man suddenly took a swing with his pipe. Achi barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Achi made sure Hitomi was safely behind him. "Guess I gotta let my fists do the talking." Achi quickly adopted a fighting stance. "Be careful," Hitomi warned, her voice trembling. "Don't worry, it's just a pipe. I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is." Achi judged the distance between them carefully as he stared his opponent down. The metal pipe gave this thug considerable reach. One solid hit from that thing and Achi wouldn't stand a chance. He needed to end this in one punch. The crook sized him up for a few moments, then lunged forward to attack. Now! Achi sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered a vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. Achi gazed at his fallen foe, flexing his knuckles. The thing about guys who bring weapons to fights is they always let themselves get too cocky. He looked the guy over. The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. Skull. "Come on, buddy. You can't check out just yet," Achi said. "Get up. I've got a few questions for you." He knelt down to grab the man by his collar. Okay, that escalated. Halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun from his breast pocket. "Whoa, didn't know you were packing heat." Achi took a quick step backward. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment. But he didn't get the chance. The man with the cane had regained consciousness. Back on his feet, he trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. "Oh no you don't!" Achi darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took up the metal pipe again. Rather than go for Achi, however, he charged the man with the cane. What the? Achi watched in astonishment as the two men grappled. Now's our chance. Grabbing Hitomi by the hand, Achi broke into a run. And there we go. We've managed to save Achi for now. So, I think we're going to call that an episode. So, until next time, we'll probably continue with Achi next time. just until we hit some kind of roadblock. I like kind of just sticking with one character until we need to switch. And then we'll see where that takes us. So, take care, and I will see you then.